I am Blue, and this is my mom. Today we are going to do an easy Indian dish. It is called Tikka Masala, and I love Indian, so I'm going to have fun cooking this.
That's right. Now, why are we using a packet? We're using a packet. Why are we using a packet?
Because it's easy to do at home and less expensive when you buy it at a restaurant.
That's right. And when you're just learning how to cook and learning how to get everything in its place, it's very, very easy to take one of these off of the shelf, read the directions on the back, and then have a whole meal. So that's what we're going to do today. So Blue, this is chicken tikka masala. This is the ingredients. It says you will need 2 tablespoons of oil. Where do we have the oil?
Oil
Very
is
good.
right here.
This is olive oil. You can use other kinds of vegetable oil or even coconut oil. Coconut oil is very good in masala. 1 pound of chicken breasts, which are right here, and we will show you how to cut those into 1-inch chunks. 2 tablespoons of butter. There we go. Got the butter. 1 medium onion, which we have right here. And we'll show you how to chop that up too. 1 package of chicken tikka masala seasoning mix. 1 can of tomato sauce, or 15 ounces. These little cans are only 8 ounces, so we're going to measure them out into a measuring cup to get 15, because 2 is 16 and we don't need 16. And then we're going to have a 1/2 cup of cream, light or heavy. We have heavy cream today. And if you don't have cream, you can use Greek yogurt. It's also very good. And then chopped fresh cilantro. We've got cilantro right here. So, what do we start?
We wash our hands.
That's right.
We've
Always wash your hands.
We've already washed our hands.
Okay, now we're working with chicken. So, do we like to cook and eat chicken with our hands?
No,
No.
we always put gloves on.
You don't always have to, but in our house, we wear gloves when we chop chicken. And if you don't want your hands to smell like onions, you can also smell gloves or use gloves when you have onions. That's not as big a deal as making sure your chicken is not cross-contaminating everything. Okay, so we have 2 chicken breasts. Now, when you're cutting a chicken breast, the way the meat lays, the grain of the meat matters just as much as it does in a steak. And in this one, the long lines go down this way. So if I cut it this way, you won't have a nice tender piece as if I cut it this way and then cut it that way. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut it. I'm going to cut it. I'll show them how to do that. Is that all right? Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to cut it into long strips first. And 1 inch is about the first knuckle on my thumb. And that's about how thick I'm cutting these. And you'll notice that I'm getting a piece like this, and we don't want it to stay like that. So once I get this all cut, then we will
put it into cubes.
Put it into cubes. Yep. Now, what am I doing that is important? Are my hands out here?
No.
No. Why? Chop, chop, chop.
You would chop your fingers off if you did that.
Are my fingers out here?
No.
No. Okay. Tuck your fingers all the way as back as far as you can get them. Okay. Under your hands. And use them to control the piece of meat that you're cutting. Then you measure and cut in front of your fingers. So they're bent so nobody loses a finger. Okay. Now, this is a very sharp knife.
So always ask a grown-up to cut with you.
Unless you think that you can learn. It's a skill you should always learn, you should always have. Don't be afraid of learning, but be safe first.
Yes.
Now, something else is that dull knives are dangerous knives. Why is a dull knife a dangerous knife?
Because it can hurt very well.
Well, it can slip. If it doesn't cut through what you're doing, it'll slip and cut your finger, or it'll slip and stab something, or it'll slip right out of your food. Okay.
That's a new skill that I've never learned.
Okay. So I want you to cut this piece. Okay. So use your left hand to secure it. Tuck it all the way under. Use your right hand.
And start from right here.
That's about 2 inches. Okay. Move it over. Cut it again.
About that much.
Okay. Now that one doesn't need cut because it's just so tiny.
And I will put
We're
this
gonna cut
right there on
this
the
one.
plate.
About 2 inches. All right. So we're just going to keep cutting these until we have cubes. And this is a 1-inch cube. Okay. And you don't have to measure it exactly, but you want everything to be close to the same size. Now, another way to make cutting chicken easier is if it's a little bit frozen and it doesn't get all wiggly and squishy and slimy.
Yeah.
But don't keep it out of the refrigerator
too long
because you don't want it to get warm.
No.
Chicken can make you very sick.
Salmonella?
Salmonella, that's right. If you don't take care of it right. Now this piece is got grizzle and yucky stuff on it, so we're gonna put it over there and we're not gonna use it. And we're just gonna keep cutting this up until we're done. That piece is a little frozen right there.
Isn't it being frozen a good thing a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. But then when we cook it, we have to make sure that we cook it properly all the way through.
Okay.
Because the frozen pieces are going to take longer to cook than the other ones.
Okay. This recipe is going to turn out amazing.
It is. You really like chicken tikka masala.
Yeah. This Indian dish is like one of my favorite dishes of all time.
Yeah. And it is easy to add things to, right?
Yes.
Because is chicken a full, healthy meal?
No.
You can,
but you can add broccoli. You could put it on top of rice. You can add a whole bunch of things that you think would be good with it.
Yeah. Peas and carrots are very good with it. String beans are very good with it. Okay, so we have all of this. We're going to put it back in the bowl it came from. And then are we going to cut our onion on this chickeny, yucky thing? No. Okay, so we're going to pause for a little bit. We're going to take all of our chicken hands and all of our chicken knives and get rid of them, and then we'll be back to cut the onion. Now we're here for our onions. This is a medium onion. And look at your stuff. Sometimes they're not the greatest. This one actually has a piece right here that we're going to cut up and not use because it's going bad. If you notice, I got a different kind of knife. Still very sharp. We've cut this and we're going to take the very papery edge off. There we go. Now this is clean. There's no little black spots. And we're going to do the same thing to here. We're going to cut this very, very tip off here. Then we're going to cut it in half. And because the outside wasn't pristine, we're going to take the outside layer off until we find a beautiful pristine layer. We've got a little piece right there that's not good.
Yeah. So, always make sure you check your ingredients and make sure nothing goes bad.
Yeah. And if you do have a little bit of bad spots, it doesn't mean the whole thing is ruined. It just means you have to be careful and take a look and make sure that everything looks good. Now, it looks like we've taken a whole lot off of this, but we really haven't. So this onion is cut in half, and you'll see that the layers separate like this, kind of in a rainbow pattern. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but I found that if I cut it like that, so that I get these pieces, the rainbow pieces, then I don't have to take as much time to cut it into smaller pieces. Okay, now onions have got ridges, a lot like chips. Those ridges come to the back like that. So we've got a rainbow on the front and then ridges on the back. And if you cut it in the rainbow slice and then follow the ridges, then you've got very nice little pieces of onion without having to take a lot of time and effort to cut them. Do you want to try?
Sure.
Okay, remember, keep your fingers away from it. Okay. All right. Now, you don't have to take it off. Just do another one, and it'll come off. Yeah. Okay, now if you're not feeling comfortable, you can do a fork. All right.
Oh, and my eyes are starting to water from the onions.
If you're not comfortable, then put a fork in it like that and cut it like that. Okay?
Yes.
Now, I am comfortable. Okay?
Okay.
And then push them away. And then just cut your
thing into cubes.
Cut your little rainbows. That we're not going to use. Now there's a lot of different ways to cut onions. And there's a lot of different reasons to cut them in different ways. So for this recipe, we need smaller pieces. So we're cutting them
into like small little cubes almost.
Yeah, small little slices.
It's fun to hear the chopping.
I know, I like it. But it does kind of make you want to cry.
Yes, my eyes are like watering just from looking at these onions.
So try not to rub your eyes.
No, don't rub.
Don't rub your nose. But it's perfectly okay to have a nice cry while cutting onions. All right. Always drop them away. And then you just put them in a nice clean bowl and wait until they're called for. Maybe without putting your hands in front of the knife. There you go. There. All right. Now, we have chicken and we have onions. What's next on the list?
Oil.
Okay, so we'll measure out the oil when we put it in there, but we have it here. And 2 tablespoons of butter. So let's get a little white plate.
This white plate?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll cut 2 tablespoons of butter. So I've showed you before on the package, the butter is measured into tablespoons. And that's about that much on each one. So we've got 2 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
Okay, now I want you to measure out 15 ounces of this. Okay, so you're gonna have to use almost all of it, but not quite all of it. And you've got a measurement right here in 16 ounces. So you're gonna go
can't get this
right to this line right underneath it.
Oh my gosh, can't get this thing too.
Do you need some help?
Yeah, this thing.
All right, let me see.
I don't know if I'm.
What on earth happened there?
I have no
like
idea.
The Hulk bent that thing right off of it. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that open. How did you do that?
Didn't do anything.
All right. So where's this? Was just used for onions. It's fine to use for tomato sauce. Let's see if we can get that out of there. All right. Let's take that off of there so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, you'll have to take those off.
Wow.
If we can get it off.
We can't get it off, so Mom's gonna end up messing with it. Okay. So we're gonna dump this one in. These are very sharp, so if you're not comfortable, have
an adult
Someone who
help you,
is
or a
help you.
friend, another family member,
Somebody who's not
someone who is not afraid to.
Okay, so that is 1 8-ounce can. So
Okay.
you're gonna need not quite to the 16.
It's like right there.
A little bit more. There you go.
That was exactly the right amount.
Really?
Yes.
All right, so it lied. This said 8 ounces and 8 ounces. 8 plus 8 is 16. But as we're measuring it out, we're only getting about 15 ounces. So
Always check your things and measure it correctly.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the bottles can lie on them.
Well, it's just different, I guess. I don't think
Yeah.
they lied. It's just different. Ooh. All right, what's next? Onion tomato sauce. Okay, we need a 1/2 cup of cream. Haven't opened this yet. All right, need a 1/2 cup.
1/2 cup.
Yep, that's about right. And then it says garnish with chopped cilantro. So here we have some cilantro that we will garnish with. All right.
Okay.
So we have everything. This is everything that we're going to need, plus the seasoning packet, to make chicken tikka masala.
Masala.
Excellent.